Hi. I'm so happy to see you. So you're getting your makeup done today? Okay, wonderful. And what is the occasion for you wanting to get your makeup done? Okay, ooh, that's kind of cool. So you've been invited to do a TikTok collab with a famous artist? Love it. Love it. All right. So what type of makeup are you going for? Okay. So something a little bit dramatic, but also quite polished. Yeah, we can certainly do that. So I have to ask, how did you get invited to do this collab? Oh, so they reached out to your company and your boss recommended you? Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, let's get started, and I do have to introduce you. This is my makeup artist in training. Her name is Ella. So, Ella? Yeah. And Ella is going to basically be just learning the ropes a little bit. Nothing to worry about at all. But we'll both kind of be working to apply your makeup together. Is that okay with you? Okay, great. All right, so all you really need to do is sit back and relax. Ella and I are going to make most of the decisions about the coloring and everything like that, but we will need to ask you a few questions along the way. Okay. All right, so are you ready to get started? Perfect. All right. So Ella, the most important thing to get started is that we need to be working with a very clean slate. Okay. Do you have any makeup on right now, or any SPF or anything like that? A little bit of SPF. Okay, very smart. Good for you. So we do need to wipe off anything that's on her face before we get started. Okay, so I'm going to have you go ahead and just close your eyes for me. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to spray this on your skin so we can properly clean it. Okay. All right. Close your eyes. Okay. Okay. All right, perfect. So we will want to clean everything off. Clean everything off, make sure there's nothing left. Because if the SPF is left on her skin, then that residue can interact particularly with a primer that I'm planning to use. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot to learn, but you'll get it. Very good. Let's see here. Okay, excellent. All right. Let's see. Do I see anything still remaining? No, I don't think so. Okay, fantastic. All right, so now that we are working with a clean slate, we can get started. So, first up, do you have more dry skin or more oily skin, or a bit of a combination? A little bit of a combo. Okay. Yeah, so Ella, you can see right here, just in the T-zone area, there's just a tad bit of an oily texture, but then here on the cheeks, you can see it's a little bit dry. Okay, so let's start by applying some is actually one of my favorites moisturizers. It comes out as more of a balm, but it goes on very smoothly. Okay. Alright, so if you could just look right at me. Perfect. Okay, let's get this on your forehead. We really want to make sure that we smooth it in nicely, okay? And on your cheeks. Okay. And on the chin as well. And I do tend to also go a little bit below the chin and into the neck area, just because the camera may capture that part too, okay? Alright, so we have your moisturizer completed. And then we're going to start off by using a Milani primer. So this one is, I think, the appropriate primer for her. You'll see that it actually corrects redness, and we can see, if you look a little bit closer here, right here, she just has an ever so slight tint of redness to her skin, and this is just going to help balance it out at the base layer. Okay, we may do some more correcting along the way, but this will be a perfect primer for her. Okay, so in order to balance out the red, we are going to apply a little bit of the green primer. Yeah, so just go right over all of the areas of her skin. This will help to kind of smooth over any larger pores as well. Yeah. Okay, down your nose. Okay, very good. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. All right. So, do you have any questions so far about what we've done? To really get started, we're going to need to apply some concealer around the eye area. So I have this concealer right here, and we want to apply this around the eye area, including the lids, so that any of the darker colors that comes shining through on the thinner part, because your skin is a little thinner on the eyelid, you'll just want to conceal that, because it can show the veins and things, and just make around the eyes look a little bit darker. Okay, right. Okay, so I'm gonna have you close your eyes for me. Okay, great. And we'll go ahead and put this concealer. Let's start with this left eye right here. Okay, very good. We'll go around to the side of the eye and just dot it a little bit below as well. Okay. Alright, great. And then we will also want to blend that in a decent amount, so that it's not really standing out, and so that we can blend it in with the rest of the makeup that we apply. Okay, yeah, keep your eyes closed. We're just going to be blending this in. Very good. Okay, we need to make sure we get it really blended over here. Perfect. Okay, I think I'm going to get it just a little more blended. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I think that works. Alright, So we have a very nice cover up and color around the eye area, and this will be a perfect base for us to add our eye color to. Okay. All right. How are you doing so far? Okay. All right. So, do you know what colors you're going to be wearing in terms of what outfit or jewelry or anything like that? You're not sure just yet? Okay. Oh, they're going to have something for you to wear? Okay. So, in this case that we don't know the color scheme, we're going to do our best to match her makeup to colors that are very complementary to the skin tone, and then you can see the hairline right here as well. Okay. And that should be able to go quite nicely with any outfit that they put her in. Alright, so I believe that this is probably going to be the best foundation color for her skin, again, to even out any redness. But before we actually apply the foundation, there's a technique that we're going to use where we do an underlayer of contouring. So we're going to put a contour layer under the foundation layer, and this will allow everything to blend better, and it will also allow the contouring to be a little bit more subtle. When you have a situation where you have the bright lights of the camera, it's very important that everything is just a little bit more subtle. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, great. Okay, so in order to make sure we have the perfect blending for your contour, we're going to do your contouring first. Right, so we will start just around your forehead line. We'll come in a little bit on the cheeks, a little bit on the jawline down here as well. Okay, looks good. And then I was able to match this foundation to her skin tone prior to her arrival, okay, based on the photos she sent. And as you can see, we'll just double check, but if you can look right at me, I'm going to put this right next to it. It looks like a fairly solid match. Let's take some and do a little test. Okay, let's do a little test. So we have this color, and we're just going to place a few dots right here on the cheek. And yeah, please look straight at me so we can get the lighting correct. Yes, you can see it's a very solid match to her skin tone. Okay, so then we're just going to apply the foundation. Gonna apply it, dab it. Very good. And that's a very good foundation for coverage. So it is a full coverage foundation. That way anything that the bright lights of the camera expose will be fully covered. Okay, so we will want to blend this in just a bit. Yeah, just want to make sure you blend it in so it's not streaky. The goal is really to have it look as natural as possible. Yeah. And with her skin tone, I mean, it's really not difficult at all. So we're very lucky. Very lucky in that regard. Alright. Do you know how long you will be on set for the filming? Okay, so at least 2 hours for the filming, and of course they'll edit that down. So in that case, we're going to want to make sure we use the highest quality products that have the most staying power. It can be hot under the bright lights, and we will need to ensure that there's no risk of the makeup smudging off or smearing off if she's sweating or anything like that, okay? So yeah, it's really important to make sure we're taking all of these different factors into account, because number one, this is going to be on camera and so it's going to be viewable for basically ever. And then obviously number two, it sounds pretty important to her career trajectory. Okay, and so you can see with the underlayer, if you look really closely with the underlayer of the contouring, look how absolutely beautiful it just kind of shines through as we've been able to blend in the foundation with it. Oh yeah, it's gonna look so great on camera too. Okay, perfect. All right, well, now that we have that, we are going to start to take a look at your eye makeup, okay? So we do have this eye makeup, different colors here, but we are going to want to make sure that we're getting it matched to, you see how the roots of her hair right here are just a shade darker than the rest of the hair, and then this skin tone as well. So we want something that's going to be incredibly complementary to both. Okay. Since she does not know what she's going to be wearing, we are going to stay away from anything that is too bold. Okay. So in order to do so, I generally take this color wheel, and we will take a look at the different shades of her skin tone. As you can see, the skin tone shades and like what might be a little bit closer to it. And then we'll also take a look at her eye color, the natural color of her eyes, which is a bit more almost in the brown green range, just a little bit in this area. And that is going to help us know what colors might be appropriate. Okay. Yeah, so if you can look straight towards me. So what we'll do, so we definitely have, we're right here for the skin tone. You can see how it matches quite nicely right here. And that is going to send us all the way into these darker tinted shades. So you can see these darker purples are a little bit more subtle, not too bold. Okay. And then let's just make sure that that's appropriate for the hair color as well. So you can see for the hair color, we're definitely more in this range. Right here, you kind of compare it. It's never going to be an exact match, but if you look at the undertones, that's what we're going for. And yes, that is leading us a little bit to the blue and purple, but very, very muted blue and purple range. So that's what we will get started working with on the eye color. Now, does that make sense to you? Okay. All right, great. So let's take a look at this skin now. So what I'm seeing for her eye color, I mean, we could almost do something in this range. It's a little bit more muted. We could go a little grayer but I'm thinking this one is a great complementary color to her skin tone and her eyes as well. Should we give that one a try? Is this one okay with you? Okay. Alright. So we're going to use this. And let's go with the creases of your eyes first. So go ahead and close your eyes. Okay. So, I'm going to go in the creases of your eyes. Okay. And make sure we get everything. Yeah, sometimes I can, you start with kind of brushing it on. You can dab it on to sort of smooth out pieces of it as well, parts of it. Okay. Yeah, and we don't want to go too dark. This is quite a pigmented shadow, so we're just going to kind of make sure we get it as even as possible. Okay, open your eyes, please. Okay. Yeah, so Ella, can you see kind of how that all goes together and really brings in the hair color, the eye color? Yeah, I think it's a really great fit for you. Alright. So now that we have that base color, we may add a little bit of some lighter pops here in a moment. But first, I would like to add some highlighter illuminator to just the cheeks and a little bit to the tip of the nose and just to the chin as well. Okay, so how we'll do this is I like to actually just put a little bit on the brush here. Okay, and we'll start with the cheeks. Okay, very good. And you just want a little bit, because if you get something that's too reflective, that will not be good with the light, the camera lighting. And I even like to do a little bit right here, just below the brow line, to kind of give that a little bit of a pop. Okay. Alright. Okay. Yeah, I think that's quite good. Probably don't really want to blend that, maybe just a little bit. But I think in general that looks pretty solid. Okay. Alright. Now, let's go ahead and start working on the eyes again just a little bit. I think I have determined that I think it will be good if we add just a little bit of white kind of on the lower inner corners. The lower inner corners right here. Just to give it a little pop. So let's go with the lightest shade here. Let's go with this one. Okay, we're going to just do a very little touch up, so look up for me if you would. So can you see how that really makes the eyes pop? Really brings out exactly what we're trying to go for. Okay, look at me. Yeah, that's gorgeous. Alright. Excellent. Alright, so now that we have that, I think it's time for us to do the eyeliner. So I'm going to go with a bit of a more neutral color. A stark black can be a little bit too harsh for the bright lighting, okay? So if you close your eyes, we're just going to do a little bit around here where the eyelashes will be applied. Okay. Fabulous. Okay. And then I do do notice it is just a little bit smudged. So I want to make sure that we get this really blended in. Okay, you definitely still want to be able to see it. But we don't want it to be too dramatic in a way that's like popping out from beyond the lashes. That's really not going to look right. So we just want to get the most even blending that we can, which I think we have achieved. Okay, perfect. Okay, what do you think of this look so far? Yeah, oh, I think it's gorgeous. All right. Now we will apply just a little bit of mascara. Oops. A little bit of mascara. All right. Look at me. Okay. Blink, 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 blink. Okay. Look at me. Other eye. Blink, 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 blink. Okay. Let's just fill in a few. Doesn't have to be perfect because we will have the false lashes to go on top. Okay. All right. Wonderful. Okay. Any questions so far? Yeah, we're about to get to the eyebrows, so don't worry. So we have this eyebrow pencil. Now you can see with her brows, in general, they look pretty good. You'll notice there's just a little bit of sparseness right here and right here. So that's the main thing that we're going to focus on filling in. It's really not noticeable very much at all. So we're going to fill in just a little bit. Okay, and you don't want to go too heavy because it will be noticeable. Okay, all right. And then of course we will take this part of the brush to really even that out. Okay, other eye. Yeah, and right now we're just evening it out. We're going to laminate it here in just a moment. Yeah, we just want the color to really spread through the brows in a very natural fashion. Okay, so I really like this laminator. It has a really nice feel to it. It's almost a waxy feel, and you will never notice this on the brows. So we'll just take it. Very good. You can apply it fairly thick, and then we can just brush it out as well. Wonderful. Okay, looks great. Alright, so yeah, we're just brushing out those eyebrows. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, the look is really coming together very, very nicely. Alright, so I want to do the false lashes last. So let's focus on the lip color, okay? So I think we will use this for the base, and then we'll choose a color that's going to complement her lips, okay? So for the base, I'm going to go around just the outline of her lips. Yeah. And this is a really nice product because it will give a very nice shade, but it's not going to be overpowering. Now we're going to need to decide if something that's a little more pink or something that's a little bit more red will be the best. Now notice that both of these are matte. this is an important distinction because we are probably going to put a little bit of a gloss over it, and it'll be a really nice way to kind of make it stay on throughout the filming. So let's, yeah, look at me. Now that we have that base layer, we need to determine which of these colors complement her skin tone, the rest of the makeup, and everything the best. Ella, what do you think? Yeah, we really can't go wrong with either. Yeah, I agree. I think we'll go with the darker, and that's because the bright lights could wash you out just a little bit. Okay, so it is a bit dark, but again, we have that nice neutral base layer. And give me a little bit of a pout. Okay, great. Yep, we'll just get this on. Okay, like this. Okay. To me, that looks fantastic. It's a pop, but it's not over the top. I think that's like honestly killer. That's gonna look amazing. Okay, all right, fantastic. So let's now, before I do anything else, before I do your lashes, I want to do a little bit of setting powder. Just a little bit of setting powder. Just a bit. I'm going to do a little bit on your forehead first. Okay. We want it to be blended in fairly well. Just a little on the forehead first. And then before I move on, I do notice, before we set anything on the rest of the face, there is just a dab or two that I want to make sure we cover. You can see that the foundation right here and right here needs just a little more oomph. So we have these options, and we have to determine which one of these colors is going to blend with the foundation and cover up the little bit of redness that's kind of shining through. So based on her skin tone, I mean, we could go, let me see here, let's go this way. What do you think? I mean, I'm almost thinking this. I think that would probably be the best. All right, let's go to this one, and you can see it's going to be a very gentle, just kind of dab. Just very gentle dabs and blending in really, really well to ensure coverage in those spots. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Yeah. Now, lastly, let's go ahead and apply the lashes. So we have these really nice lashes. They're going to be noticeable, not tacky. So noticeable, but just perfect for this occasion. So if you can look down for me. Okay, we're gonna get this applied. Okay, very good. And where's my other one? Here we go. Going to get this applied. Okay, perfect. Okay, looks really nice. Really nice. Okay. Ella, any questions from you? Yeah, this makeup is going to hold up very nicely. Honestly, probably for 18 plus hours. So you should be really good to go. minus the lashes. You reapply those. But yeah, you should be good to go. Do you have any questions? Let me just get this properly situated. Okay, this one, you shouldn't have messed with them. This one, there we go. Perfect. No? Well, you look absolutely gorgeous. Good luck on your collab. I think you're going to do great. And I can't wait to see how it turns out.